Hello, it's Jeanette with G Amazing Paper Crafts. Thank you for joining me for another video tutorial. Today I have a little sweet treat box and I'm calling my Triple Dove sweet treat box. And this box measures, it's about 3.5 inches by 1.25 inch by about 1/2 inch tall. And the reason I'm calling it my Triple Dove is because I have inside, it's holding 3 little Dove chocolates, and everything is better in threes, right? So let me show you how I put this little box together. It's very simple. It's a fold over box, but I have it specially measured for my little Triple Dove sweet treat box. So today I'm going to be using a different color combination. The one that I have here is the rose red for the card box, and the only little piece of DSP that you need is for the top. You could put it all the way around, but I felt that it was going to be kind of lost if I did that, so I just put it on the top. And I used some DSP on this one from the English Gardens collection, and that's from our annual catalog. So today I'm going to be using something from our Sale-A-Brations catalog, a little piece of DSP from, let's see, this one is called Wildflower Fields, and it is in here, and you can get this absolutely free. All this DSP, there's 12 sheets, 2 each of 6 double-sided designs. All of these pieces of paper are just absolutely gorgeous, so bright and so colorful. I'm finding a lot of things that I can do with this, and you get it free for $50. I mean, if you order $50, it's not free if it's $50. But if you order $50 from my store, you can choose that amongst some other beautiful things that they have in the Sale-A-Bration catalog, and you can get it for free. So let me get started. And this piece of paper is going to be the base. And this is in Calypso Coral, which kind of matches really cute with this DSP. There's some Calypso Coral in here. And this piece of paper measures 4 inches by 4.5 inches. Now I'm going to bring my Simply Scored scoreboard in here. And I'm going to be scoring. On the 4-inch side, let me make sure that you can see the numbers here and there's no glare. Okay, here we go. On the 4-inch side, right here, you are going to be scoring with the bigger the ball from your stylus, okay? You'll be scoring at, I gotta make sure I check my notes here, 1/2 inch, okay? Kind of got my notes covered. 1/2 inch, okay? And then you're going to go to 1 3/4 inch, okay? And then you're going to go to 2 1/4 inch, and then you go to 3.5 inches, okay? So again, that is 1/2 inch, 1 3/4 inch, 2 1/4 inch, and 3.5. And then you're going to turn it, and you're going to be scoring this at 1/2 inch. Make sure I got that good. And then you're going to score it at 4 inches. So that's 1/2 inch and then 4 inches. Okay. And then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to find the halfway mark from the 4.5 inch side, and that would be 2 1/4. And I'm just going to put just a little of a nick mark here, and I'm doing that for a reason. I'll show you in just a few minutes. Okay, now let me put this scoreboard away. And I am going to fold and burnish all of my score lines. Make sure I got them all. Okay, and now let's put this DSP on here. But before I do that, I want to get a piece of ribbon. Now this ribbon I've had in my stash since last year's Sale-A-Brations. I'm not exactly sure if it's Calypso Coral, but it sure it sure is close. And I think I got this for free, but you can use any color that's in here. I believe there's a little bit of rich raspberry. No. That's Blackberry Bliss. And there's some Hello Honey in here and some mint macaron and white, of course. But I chose this ribbon so that I could use it up, because you don't want to waste it. You want to use it. Now I'm just going to put a tiny little bit of fast fuse on here right in the center of the ribbon. Okay, that's just so that I can put it in the center along here. And before I do that, I'm going to show you why I put that little nick right there, if you see that. And that is so that I can make my little finger opener. I don't know what you call this, but it's just a little notch in the paper so that when you open the box, you have something to put your fingernail under. Okay, now I'm going to take my ribbon and I'm going to just lay that right in the center here. Hopefully that's centered. Okay, and then I'm going to put my DSP over it. And I want to tell you about what I did with this, with the corners of the DSP. I have a punch that is very similar to the, let me show you in this catalog here. Okay, this is the Occasions catalog for 2016. And what they did was they carried over this wonderful punch. It's called the Curvy Corner Trio Punch. They carried it over from the holiday catalog, which I'm going to be ordering that very, very soon, but I don't have it right now. But I did kind of improvise by using a similar punch, and it had the similar scallops. If you see on here, you see those little scallops that this punch will do. I had something similar, but not exact, and that's what I did with the corners of these. Here, let me show you. See the corners of this piece of paper, and this piece of paper here measures 1 1/4 inch by 3 1/2 inches. Now I'm going to put some snail on here on the back. Isn't that pretty on the back, that olive color? I love that too. Okay, just putting some snail on the back of that. Let me grab my silicone craft sheet. Nothing sticks to it. That's why I love this silicone craft sheet. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and put this right over the ribbon. And it should fit kind of perfectly because I measured it exact. And with it being punched out like that, you can kind of see the orange, or the orange color of the Calypso coral coming through. Isn't that cute? I really like that. Okay, now let's start trimming some of the pieces off of here. Actually, you're not trimming anything off. You're just trimming off the score lines. And I am going to go with my paper snips and just go up every score line and trim on both sides. So I'm pretty much just cutting the score line off. And that would be on the side that measures 4 inches, where you have all of these score lines going horizontal this way. And I'm going to flip it over and do the same. Now notice I haven't ripped them off yet. And I will, but I'm not really going to rip them. I'm going to take them off, but I'm going to cut them off. And I'll show you. Oops. Butterfingers. Okay. So what I do is I just fold down all of the flaps and leave up the little score lines that I've trimmed. Okay. And then I go along and then I just cut them flush. And it just kind of makes it a little neater without that rip. Sometimes I would rip those off and there'd be a little bit of frayed paper, and I didn't really like that, so I just figured out a better way to cut off those score lines. Now you can notch if you want. I prefer not to notch because it's such a little square that you have to put adhesive on, and so I want to have enough room so that I can put my adhesive. And by notching, it's not really giving yourself enough room. So let's get rid of all that. And now I'm going to bring back in my silicone craft sheet. And then I am going to take some fast fuse again. And I am just going to put fast fuse on these little squares. And now hang on to them when you're snapping off the fast fuse, because this fast fuse is so strong. One of the strongest adhesives that I've used, and it wants to rip off those little tabs if you're not holding on to them tight. Okay, so just a little advice there. Okay. Okay, now let's put the bottom part together, and it's this part right here. I'm going to flip this up like that. Okay. Do the same on this side. Now you can also use some Tombow Mono adhesive on this. It does take a little time to dry, a few more seconds than it is to do the fast fuse. And it's also a very strong adhesive, but for speed I decided to use the fast fuse. But I do love that Tombow Mono adhesive. It's a multi-purpose glue. Okay. Now here we go. Now the box is all put together. I'm going to put my Dove candies inside. This is the chocolate, dark chocolate with almonds, little almond bits. Just absolutely love that. And now I am just going to tie a bow, if I can tie a bow. And we'll just do the best job we can here. Okay. We'll fix it better for the photo, for the photo shoot. Okay. And we want to just trim some of this off like that. And I'll just trim a little bit there. There we go. And now let's put a sentiment on here. For this one here, in the rose red, I used the scalloped oval punch, and for the sentiment I used the large oval punch, and we're going to do the same thing. And where I got the sentiment from is from something else that you can get for free during Sale-A-Brations, and this is a whole stamp set. It's called Honeycomb Happiness. Love this stamp set. Love, love, love the You're So Sweet, Hang in There, and Oh Hello, and the little chickadee is just absolutely the cutest thing. Coloring it is so much fun. So we're going to use You're So Sweet, and we're going to stamp that on a piece of Whisper White. Let's do that now. And we're going to use some Calypso Coral ink. Okay. And I'm going to, oops. Those get everywhere. Okay, just gonna stamp it right here. Oops, and I stamped it upside down, but that's okay. All right, now we're gonna bring in the oval, the large oval punch, and just kind of center it and then stamp it. Now, what I think I'm gonna also do is I'm going to bring in some, make sure that this is good. I'm just gonna bring in my my finger dauber, my finger sponge dauber, and just do a little bit of sponging on the edge just to give it a little definition. I didn't do that in the rose red, and I probably should have. I think I would have liked it a little better if I did, but I like it okay. And I just stuck my finger, my thumb right in the ink. See that? Okay, baby wipe. Happens all the time. You can tell somebody who does stamping by just looking at their fingers. They're always stained with something. Okay, now I'm going to bring in this large scalloped oval, and I'm going to punch a piece out with the Calypso Coral. I'm going to take some snail, and I'm going to just glue this on here. And this is like a perfect little fit for this oval. And I'm going to take some Stampin' Dimensionals. I'm sorry, yeah, Stampin' Dimensionals, not glue dots. I'm going to take two. Okay. And I'm going to put one on this side, one on that side. Peel that off. Peel that one off. Okay, we're going to set this right here in the center of our box. Okay. And now let's make a little flower. And for that, I'm just going to be using this little itty bitty flower from the Itty Bitty Punch Trio Pack. Okay. Now let me just bring in my, oh, where is it? it's never where I want it to be. Here it is. I'll just bring this in and kind of lift it up a little bit. And we are going to be putting a rhinestone. Let's get a nice rhinestone. I think I'll get one this size this time and put it right in the center there. Oops, looks like it fell off. I didn't really put it in there very good. Okay, rhinestone right there. All right. I just keep dropping things today. That's okay. All right, I think I want to just kind of do the edges of this just to have a little tone on the edge, and that kind of looks cute like that too. Now get your paper piercer, get your glue dots, your mini glue dots, and you're going to put a mini glue dot on the back of this, and let's put this right up here. Okay, and you're done. Isn't that cute? Well, I do hope you'll try this. It's a fun little box. Give them 3 Dove candies at one time. They're going to love this. And if you need any tools or any supplies that I used in this video, please go to my website. That is www.geamazingpapercrafts.stampinup.net. That's a mouthful, isn't it? I would be happy to be your demonstrator if you don't already have one. So once again, this is Jeanette with Amazing Paper Crafts, and you make it a great day. Bye-bye.